life. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. I'm just going to be with you for just a few minutes, but I have something I want to share with you, something that actually happened to me this past week. And I just wanted to share it with you just in case something happened to you similar. Then you can see how I navigated, and then you can see if that's something that might be able to resonate and help you as well. So, just starting off, I did have me some lashes on because y'all, I was just ready for my video. But they started coming off, and my granddaughter started making little comments about how they were just barely hanging on. So I just took them off. Anyway, thank you all and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, go ahead and like and share and subscribe to my channel. One of the things that I'm starting to do is just show up. So if you're going to have a YouTube channel, make sure that you come on at least once or twice a week and just let people know that you're there, because people won't know that we're here unless we're here. So let's try to be consistent if we're trying to get a YouTube channel going, because a lot of people are sharing a lot of information about what's going on in the world. One of the things that I've been sharing with you all about is having an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund. And y'all, look, you got to tuck a little something away. You got to tuck a little something away. I don't care if it's $5 a paycheck or if it's $500 a paycheck. If you can take your whole check once a month, if you get paid twice a month and you don't need that check, go ahead and tuck it away somewhere. But for an emergency fund, I mean something that you can just readily go get your hands on. Everybody needs access to some right now money. I got to tell you about what happened to me this week. And I am so thankful that I had an emergency fund. That's right. I had an emergency fund. Okay. So I got a letter on Friday from my bank, but I want to tell you what happened on Thursday. No, I got a letter. I got the letter actually just today, but something happened on Friday with my bank that started maybe on Thursday. Well, on Thursday, I went to pay on my, I have a clinic bill, and I went to pay on it with my bank card. So I knew I had plenty of money in my regular checking just to go on and knock that bill out. So I went ahead and paid that bill, y'all. So glad I was getting ready to pay it off. But my credit card declined. My bank card declined. I said, oh, maybe I haven't, sometimes you have to, it's not called ignited. I can't think of the word right now, but I didn't do what I needed to do to get it, to start using it. And so I said, well, I got a credit card. Let me go on and use my credit card. And then once I get this bank card reestablished, I'll go ahead and just pay it off. So I did that. I went ahead and paid the whole bill, paid it off. I stuck my chest out, and I was feeling really good about paying that credit card off, because y'all, I've been working not only just on my building an emergency fund, but also on my credit. And I am well on my way to an 800 score. It's just a personal goal to have a 800 credit score. But anyway, so on Thursday, I went to pay that bill, and the card wouldn't go through. So activate. That's the word. Activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. So I said, maybe I hadn't activated it. But then again, I thought, I had activated that card. Oh, well, it's okay. I don't really need anything today anyway. Friday morning, I took my great niece to a dentist appointment. And I dropped her off, and I went to the Waffle House just to have a cup of coffee. And I am working on a personal goal, so I got me a big glass of water with lemon in it, and I drank the water, and I drank the coffee, and then I got a call, and she said she was ready to be picked up. I said, okay, that's my cue. So I went ahead. Now, mind you, we're talking about uh, tucking a little something back. Make sure you're building your emergency fund. That's what we're talking about right now. And I'm so glad that I did. So I went to pay my bill at Waffle House, and you know they got a jukebox there. And I said, oh man, I didn't have time to put a good song on. Hello, 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 you guys. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining my channel. Um, Make sure if you're not subscribed, please like, share, subscribe. So I went to pay my bill there at Waffle House, and that card declined. I said, well, I know I got $2.90 in the bank. It declined. I said, okay, something's going on, something's going on. Because I had been having a little trouble with Amazon had charged some extra stuff on my account, and I was working through that. But my debit card declined. So again, I had to use another form of payment, but I had like just some change in the car. So I went and left my ID with them, and I went and got my, cause I didn't want them to be chasing me down for $3. But I went and got some change. I had plenty change, just loose change in the car, and I got it together, and I paid my bill. So before I went to go pick my niece up, I called the bank because I'm like, what's going on? It's something crazy going on. So I called the bank, y'all. This is where it gets really, really interesting. So I called the bank and asked them what my balance was. And they said, Miss Johnson, and the young man, I have a relationship with him. He said, Miss Johnson, all of your accounts that your name is attached to has been closed. You want to run that by me again? He said, all of your accounts, I heard you, but why? He couldn't tell me why. This is what he said. It could be a number of things. It could be you committing fraud. It could be, have you tried to cash a large check recently? Has anybody tried to cash a large check? And I said, well, no. I said, the only other person, I have my sister on one account, and then I have my son on another account. And I said, my son, the only time he's ever gone to my account is when I've told him to. And I said, besides that, we don't even have checks. So anyway, I need to probably pick up a couple. But I said, no, it's not that. He said, well, we don't have to give you a reason. We can just close them down. I said, excuse me? I said, I have been with you all since the early 90s, like 1990 or 91. I think they used to be like Mercantile or something, but I've been with this bank a long time. And I know I don't have any outstanding checks, and I don't have any overdrafts. I don't owe them any money for anything, and I have money in each of the accounts, and they're all in good standing. He said, well, they can just make that decision, just arbitrarily, just make the decision to close your accounts and close the relationship. Let me read you what this letter says, and I just got it today. It says, Dear Reba Johnson, please be advised that we have elected to close your deposit accounts referenced above due to mishandling of your banking relationship and obligations, resulting in U.S. Bank choosing to exit this relationship. And it goes on with some other things. Please be advised you are no longer able to conduct any account transactions, yada, 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 with any of the account. Y'all, I was taken aback. Let me tell you. So frustrating. I have a lot of things that actually draft from that account, of course, household things like that. But we're talking about having a little money tucked back. This is what they said. You won't be able to access any of that money for 7 to 30 days, and during that time, we will send you a cashier's check. So if you close my account, what am I? Where am I supposed to cash this check at, right? So I guess you could cash it. So a lot of people don't have checking accounts. Maybe some people don't, and you have to just pay a higher fee for cashing checks if you don't have an account. But y'all, I was super frustrated on one side, but I was cool on the other side. I was frustrated, couldn't understand why would they do that. I don't have any problems with this bank. I don't have a bad relationship, none of that. So I was frustrated on one side, but I was super cool on the other side. Why? Because I've been saving for a rainy day. If it's going to take 7 to 30 days for them to send me, run me my money, y'all, I had an emergency fund that had money in it. And this is why I am encouraging all of you to make sure that you are tucking a little money back. I don't care if it's change from where you've been buying things throughout the week. You dump your purse in a box. If you get some change from someone and you have paper change, you can tuck that away wherever you want to put your emergency fund. But I encourage you to have an emergency fund. Because I had an emergency fund, y'all, I was cool. I was cool until everything got straightened out. And it didn't get straightened out in one phone call. As I began to make several calls, people were kicking the can down the road. Every time I talked to somebody else, they had to put me with a supervisor who put me with their supervisor. And they just kept kicking the can down the road. I don't know why to this day, for real, they had closed my bank accounts and exited the relationship with me. So this past week, I had things I had to attend to that was more pressing, really, than that. But I will find out. I know they said, well, we can't tell you. Somebody's going to tell me something. But I am super thankful, y'all, that I had an emergency fund. This is a time that I really needed my emergency fund because I had like a fourth of a tank of gas. I try not to let my gas get that low, but I did. So I needed gas. We needed groceries. And yes, I could have put it on a credit card that I have through a different establishment. But why should I put it on a credit card that's going to charge interest, yada, 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 yada? Why would I do that when I have an emergency fund? And y'all, that emergency fund came through for me this time. I was able to do everything that I needed to do while I waited. So I kept calling and I kept getting different people. Of course, I would hang up, then I would call again and I would get a different person. And each person, you've seen that game, the telephone game, where you whisper something in somebody's ear and you have several people in a circle, and what you whispered in has to match, has to go through everybody, and it has to be exactly how you said it when you first started the telephone game. That's what that seemed like to me. But guess what, y'all? I had an emergency fund set aside to back me up. So every time I called somebody, the story changed. Each time I called, y'all, I'm telling you, I made several calls. I started not to make this video, and I said, well, I'm going to make it, but I'm going to get my my hair together, and I'm gonna put on my eyelashes. Yeah, my granddaughter helped me get myself together today. I said, I have got to get myself together before I share this story. But then the Spirit said, if you don't have to wait, you always telling other people, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Go ahead, use what you got, tell your story, get it out, get it off your chest. Cause y'all, I was mad about that. Like for a couple of days, I was really, really mad. But when I realized this, oh my Lord, look, my daughter graduated with her master's from University of Kentucky, and we still have celebration stuff up. I guess I should have moved all that stuff, so I moved it over a little bit before I got started. But anyway, it's blowing on me. But I am so thankful that I had an emergency fund, because had it not been for that, I probably would have had to either use my credit card during that whole time that it was closed, or borrow money from one of my children, okay, uh, or just, you know, do without, use my credit card or whatever. And there's a lot of times now when I do have like a real emergency, I mean, when I think it's an emergency, I stop and reevaluate it, because sometimes it's not an emergency. Sometimes it's when you run across things, it's just a matter of you pausing for a minute, because you all know that we can get anxious, and we can do things in a hurry. What is that called when you do things without really thinking? Impulsively. You can do things impulsively and make decisions on things without giving it time, without taking out time to say, before I go buy that, I need to look at, like all the avenues, or I need to do a little research, uh, or I need to look and see if I can get a better deal or something. Like, I've bought things on impulse before, and then I've had buyer's remorse because I didn't stop and evaluate, do I really need it? Is it a necessity? Do I just want it? Why do I want it? Just ask yourself questions and things like that. Uh, so it was so frustrating. So to make a long story short, yes, I got through it. Um, I got through it by making sure that I had an emergency fund at my fingertips, and I got through it okay. So to make a long story short, they admitted that it was error, and they did go ahead and put my account back in good standing. But who does that? Has that? Maybe I'm the only one that has happened to. I don't know. But just with no notice, just out of the blue, you don't have access to your money. That's crazy to me. That It was crazy to me. It was an aha moment. It let me know that I need to make sure that I keep my emergency fund flowing, so that make it fluid, so that I can make sure that it's there when I need it. That's the worst thing that could happen. That's how I ended up in so much trouble some years ago, is by being impulsive and going to the payday loan places and borrowing amounts of money, and then getting on that cycle of rewriting. Maybe no one else has done that, but I did. Tell the truth, shame the devil. And I never want to be in that predicament ever in my life again. It was hard getting out of it, but with the help of the good Lord, I was able to do it. But having that emergency fund was a lifesaver for me, y'all. Let me tell you, just tuck a little bit back as much as you can. Tuck a little bit back, and the more you tuck back, the easier it would be when an emergency comes up. I mean, a real emergency. Like, if I hadn't had that emergency fund, I wouldn't have been able to put gas in my car and go get groceries. But I was able to do that because I thought ahead and start putting money back and not touching it. Sometimes we'll put emergency funds back, and we think an emergency is, oh no, it's 2 weeks. I got to go get my nails done. No, that's not an emergency. Well, maybe it is for some people, but it's not for me. An emergency is like they closed your bank accounts and you don't have access to any money. Any money. Yeah, I know I could have called my siblings. Um, and I did call my siblings. I mean, I was initially distraught. And they all had my back, you know. They all, if you need anything, you let us know. We got you, we got you. My kids were the same way. I've just never had something like that happen to me where, I mean, it wasn't my fault this time, y'all. It wasn't my fault. Did I do that? It was not my fault this time, y'all. But everything got cleared up, and it's back in good standing. But what if I had not planned for a rainy day? So I just encourage you to put back, you know, big amounts, little amounts, medium amounts. Just put something back so at your fingertips, if you have an emergency like I did, then you're not caught off guard. Mm-hmm. You're going to be prepared because you're going to save for a rainy day. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed my story today. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I've got some more stories to tell you. You would not believe. You know what? If I wasn't in some of these stories, I wouldn't be believing them myself, but some of them are just really, really wild. Yeah. So anyway, y'all have an awesome rest of your weekend. Until the next video.